Good morning or afternoon, miners. Depending on where you're at and when you're watching this, it could be morning, it could be afternoon, it could be evening, or if you're a special kind of character like I am, sitting in the bathroom watching YouTube. This is brought to you by me, that dude miner. First off, if you could like or subscribe this, that would be amazing. I'm trying to make the road to 100 subs by the end of October. For me, that's a huge feat as I only have 3, but I do appreciate the views. Either way, give me a comment. Tell me how I'm doing or what you think I could do better. This is the first episode of Dudes and Don'ts. This is going to be videos I'm going to put out about upgrades or items I received or just general talk of issues and problems. Just quick tidbits just so it's out there. As you can see, this is my miner. I am using HiveOS and I'm a big Trekkie. Let's just put that out there. Big Trekkie. Love Star Trek. So all my miners are going to be named after the vessels of Star Trek. Well, all my workers, really. So as you can see, this is my my setup. And Hive never gets this correct. I don't know why. It always says see, 50 degrees, 50 watt difference. Either way, so in this rig, I have I have a couple 1660 Ti's, a couple 3060s, which are the VR ones. They're the Nerfers, and I have one RTX 3070, which unfortunately is an LHR edition. I got that on a Newegg shuffle, and for the price, I couldn't pass it up. That's why I bought it. And I don't ever win those shuffles, except for like that one time, and I had been doing it for months. I had to buy it. I was like just excited that I won something. I also got a 3060 Ti, which is also an LHR model, which is currently in Stardock. Stardock is my wow, really? There's some road work going on in front of my house, and now I'm hearing sirens. That's always a good thing to start your day out. And again, I'm sorry for the background noise because there is people working out in front of my house right now on the street, and this is all kinds of awesome today. So as I said, my 3060 Ti is an LHR model. Now, here's the problem that I have. I have 7 GPUs in here right now. When I first installed this, I did the big mistake. You never mess with your system with updates or firmware or anything when you freshly install something, because if there is a problem and you've done all these updates, you don't know what it is that you did that was wrong. So I first made the first mistake. Right here, I made an update, which is not this one. This is actually currently going on right now, but there was an update that I updated to, and I installed everything. And guess what happened? It crashed. My latency down here, my load average, sorry, would jump between, it'd start up for about 30 seconds, be right here, around here, or lower, and then it'd jump up to 1, then 2.75, then 3.5, then 13, then 27, and it'd keep going up until the whole system froze and I got nothing. Now it would tell me that it detected my LHR cards, which I was using at that time, the NB Miner 39.2. I couldn't figure out why it was doing it, so I jumped on Discord on a couple different pages that I'm on, and I asked questions. I didn't really get an answer, which sucked, but I turned around and just went back and started reviewing what other people had. I went to the miner pages and started reviewing that, and trust me, DD is important. Go back and read. Even if you're waiting for an answer, don't sit there and just wait for it. Go back and see if you can help figure out the problem yourself. A lot of people were talking about maybe software issues, which again, I did the big no-no. I did an upgrade to my software before installing everything, and I can't pinpoint that as being what the problem was exactly because I've already done it. And unfortunately in Hive, you can't roll back to the one you want to. It actually goes back to a completely different setup, which is weird. I was hoping to go back one to see if that was the problem, and I couldn't do it. So that being said, what I ended up doing is trying to figure it out. So when I figured the problem was I didn't have this problem before I put in the 3070 and the 3060 Ti. So I took both those out of the rig and I put them in my Stardock and I ran them. They ran fine. I had no problems. I was getting decent numbers. I still was having kind of lock problems with NB Miner. So I ended up switching up to Gminer. Gminer was way more stable, and I was able to pull out 37 mega hash, almost up, actually sometimes hitting 38 on the 3060 Ti, and I was definitely hitting 40 on my 3070. Um, then I, didn't want it sitting in that test stock the whole time. I was like, why did I build this big rig if I can't put everything in it? I mean, I spent time the last couple months, because I am new to this still, to put this rig together, and I can't put it in this that I set up. And I'm running, on the motherboard, I'm running a BioStar TB360 Pro. And it's supposed to handle 13 total GPUs, 12 on the little slots and the big 16 PCIe slot. So I don't run that slot, I just run the smaller ones because everything's on risers. So as I kept going doing my DD and DD, I found out that risers could be the problem. So I said, okay, well, let me figure this out. Can't figure it out when my Hive keeps crashing. So luckily, and I do recommend doing this, is get yourself a thumb drive. Okay, the thumb drive, I have Hive OS on, and I can pull it out and put that in, and guess what? The system started right up like nothing happened after I took the 3070, 3060 off, the Ti, which helped a lot. Now I could start troubleshooting my problem. What I found out was that I may have screwed up by putting in a different driver. So down here you can see that it says my NVIDIA driver is the it says right now the 470-63.01. I had the 460-93. I think it's 01 or 03 in mine. And I was watching videos, and a lot of people were downgrading to the 460-39 to unlock the LHRs to at least 60% potential, 70% potential. When I did that, my system hated it. It immediately crashed. I couldn't reboot. I couldn't do any of that, and I couldn't figure out why. So I tried to roll back my Hive system here, and I can't roll back Hive. So at least I can't roll back to where I want to. I had to roll back like a lot of months ago updates. So I kept going, couldn't figure it out. So as I started reading more and more, a lot of people were telling me that make sure your drivers are good, make sure this, that, and the other. So what I ended up doing was upgrade to the newest driver that it allowed me to upgrade. I did a force update on Hive off my USB, because the USB would allow me to use the current, without the 4060.39 driver, and it let me use the 4060.93 that I was running. Or 461, I can't remember which exactly one it is. Again, I apologize for any sounds or anything, because I can see them moving around exactly where I'm at right now. So I did that, and then it started working, but again, crashed my system. So I thought maybe it was the risers then. So I took the risers, and replaced the risers. Now I'm gonna have a separate video on buying risers, cheap risers, and the problems that I'm finding with that stuff. On that, nothing. It still crashed. It lasts 30 seconds and crash. So I tried to figure out, well, what the hell is going on with this thing? So I said reduce it. So I just I took off the 3070, just the USB cable, and I ran it with the 3070. Lo and behold, dang thing ran for an hour with no issues. Put the 3060 back on it, boom, crashed again. So I'm like, okay, we got a problem. So I end up running the 3060 on Stardock right now. For some reason, I'm still trying to troubleshoot this on why I can't run the 8th GPU. It crashes the moment the 3060 is on there. Now, I have upgraded and using Gminer now. I was a big fan of MBMiner, which I still like MBMiner. But Gminer has given me some amazing hash rates. If you can look at this is 42.5. And that's at 130 watts. Well, it power cycles a lot. But this is stable. All these numbers are stable. These haven't really changed, maybe 0.1 over like the entire time I've had this running up for 1 day and 3 hours now after the upgrade. So I would, as my don'ts, when you go to upgrade, put one card in at a time. Don't do any forced upgrades or any OS version upgrades if your system's running fine at the current start. If there's a problem, it's easier to detect for sure if you just put it in, because then you can move up from there and not backwards. Again, I hope this helps someone. My system is stable, as you can see, and I am mining. I'm still working out the problem on why I can't get my TI on this board. I don't know if it's either a board issue where the board won't accept more than 7 cards, or if it's a software problem. Because it's definitely not hardware. I have replaced those risers multiple times, but again, let me not rule that out. It could be, but I have ordered a set of risers from what is it, GPUrisers.com, and I've heard those are really, really good, and I don't have a lot of the problems I'm having with some of these other ones that I have. So I'm gonna wait for those to get in and then retry this again. I'm probably gonna live stream that one so that everyone can see the problem as it happens and as I work through it. But again, as a quick tip for the day, if you're gonna add something to your rig, back it up. Know what your settings are and go from there. On top of that, don't do any upgrades software-wise until you put it on. If it crashes then you can go from there and work your way up. Upgrading, I don't know if it was the upgrade or it was the board. It's probably the board. I don't think it's the software. At least I ruled that out so far, and I don't think it's the hardware. I pretty much ruled that out, at least most of it, except for the motherboard. I'm thinking it possibly could be the motherboard, but we'll go from there. Again, thanks for watching. Please like if you like this, thumbs down if you don't like it. I mean, thumbs down and you eat potato salad with ketchup and horseradish. Yeah, I guess. Either way, and share it if you would like, or if not, either way. But I do appreciate you guys, and as always, stay mining.